So I'm Steve. I've worked for Real Life Options about 17 years now. Started as relief support worker, worked through to a TC and then shifted over to risk and compliance. I got diagnosed with autism 15 months ago, or being diagnosed as autistic rather than with autism. So autistic people prefer to be called autistic people rather than a person with autism, because autism is a part of who you are. It's not a condition to be cured. It's probably about 4 years ago, just coming up for 4 years ago, that I really found out that I was autistic. So I've done all this reading, I've done all this work within, autism and supporting autistic people, and just never really twigged, oh, that's me. Because everything in my head is normal. My work life hasn't changed at all, and how people treat me hasn't changed at all in any way, shape or form, and that's quite a wonderful thing. And it's wonderful because it shows that people are treated on their merits. What has changed is my understanding of why certain things have been the way they've been. The diagnosis, or more so my understanding of me, has allowed me to think, oh, that's why that happened. That's why I reacted in that way to this situation. Shortly after my diagnosis, I started to develop the Someone I Know, supporting autistic people training for Real Life Options. It came about just when I was thinking and I was kind of reflecting on my life, and I thought, well, perhaps I can tie that in to other elements of teaching people what autism is, rather than what they think it might be, because there's usually a big disparity between the two. People have some sort of misconception and preconceived ideas about who is autistic, what is autism, and that it's usually born out of good intentions, and that's the thing. It's not to say that anybody's bad for doing that, because a lot of the good intentions come through with it, but there's this idea, for example, if somebody can talk, they're not autistic enough to be autistic, and it's like, a lot of people associate autism with learning disabilities, for example, and autism is not a learning disability. And it's this idea that you can't function if you're autistic. Functioning can be difficult and exhausting. That's not to say that it's impossible. See, when we're going through it and they start talking about the people that they're supporting, we do little group activities throughout the day, and you can see little light bulb moments for people, and they go, oh, they do that? Oh, that's why they do that? Maybe we can do this to help them. And we find that makes that difference, and people leave there, I don't tell them what to think, but they leave there thinking, and that's the biggest thing. They just go away with a slightly different conception of perhaps what autism actually is. And so, yeah, there are some changes that have happened at service level because of the training, which is fantastic to hear. I've heard some people have gone in and they've shaped the environment better for the person, so they've changed the lighting, or they've done little bits like this to make it a little bit more autism friendly, and a little bit more conducive to the sort of capable environment for the autistic person. So all of that's really, really positive. And I get a little bit of a kick out of it, to be honest with you, when you hear, oh wow, I've actually done something, I've actually made a difference somewhere down the line. So it really helps, really helps.